welcome everybody for being here on a Thursday night. Super excited to kind of share with you what we have, but I wanted to just kind of introduce myself so you know who I am and my background. My husband was going to be on, but I actually told him to sit in the other room. So your host is me. We're a family of six. We live in the beautiful state of Colorado. My husband and I have been married 21 years and we've been entrepreneurs for 20 years. So for the majority of our marriage, we've dealt with long-term real estate. We've are doing land investments. I've been in the financial insurance background for the last, 4 years. And then my major background comes from network marketing. I've been doing that for 20 years. So I've kind of been involved in all the different ways that we can make an income. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today, along with the services that we provide. Let me get to the next screen because it does not want to go over now. Oh, there we go. Look at that. All right. So you guys, as you know, like in the world, like we are in a work from anywhere revolution right now. Before it was always like you have to report to a brick and mortar. You have to clock in, you have to clock out to work. But we don't have that anymore, even more so since COVID happened, right? So many physical jobs have gone to the online world where you have a phone, you have a laptop, you have Wi-Fi, you could pretty much do almost any job that's out there. And in this world, you guys, people are looking for more income because even two-income families, two-income households are not covering all the expenses in the economy with all of the inflation. People are also looking for more time, but it's a double-edged sword. They go get a second job to get that, to get extra income. They lose out on their time. But also we're here looking for flexibility. For those of you that are in, here, I want you communicating in chat. Like, are you looking for more income? Are you looking for more time? Do you want more flexibility? And a lot of people really want independence in these uncertain times that we're in, because I tell you right now, you can be in a 20-year career and like that, it could be gone. It's happened to multiple people. So I want to talk to you about like the different types of income that are available to all of us. And I want you to think about this as we're going through this tonight. The real question isn't how hard do you work, because I'm sure a lot of us just slave our life away, right? Like we were taught to just work hard for that annual cost of living raise. So what I want you to think about when we're talking to you about the services and about the opportunity is what type of income are you building right now? So there's 3 types of incomes. And I want you to comment in the chat. Do you have linear income? The majority of us all have done linear income, right? This is where we trade our time for money. And when we stop, the income stops. In this American education system, this is what we're taught to do, right? We're taught to go to school, get a degree, you spend $80,000 to come out of that degree to work a $50,000 job. But if we don't work that job, our money stops. But then we have leveraged income. Leveraged income is like in network marketing, where you get to build with other people and systems to where your effort multiplies. Meaning, like there's a saying that I want you guys to think about. And I want you to write this down and question yourself this, multiple times. Would you rather have 100% of your effort, or would you rather have 1% of 100 man's effort? That is what leveraged income is not only is it you building towards the same mission and the same vision, but you can also be rewarded for helping other people bring in an income, impact other families, and you get rewarded by helping them succeed. So that's leveraged income. I love leveraged income. I've done that for 20 years. That's what, the network marketing had provided for me. I've also done linear income, which I quit doing that 12 years ago. But then you also have residual income. Residual income is income that you create that continues to pay you over and over and over again for work that you did previously. And so I would love to see in the chat, would you rather have linear income, leveraged income, or residual income? I know I would like to weigh heavier on the leveraged and the residual. Sometimes I wouldn't mind doing linear because I like to be active, but ask yourself this question. If your income depends on you showing up every single day, right? If you stop, the money stops. Is that really freedom? So Zig Ziglar says it best. He says, money isn't everything, but it definitely rates right up there with oxygen, right? Income creates the lifestyle that we want. It creates the freedom. It creates the time flexibility. It creates the margin for you to be able to say yes more instead of no more. It gives you the ability to not have to always rely on somebody else's schedule and their duties for you to create an income to pay the bills in the house. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you build a legacy with LegalShield. Now, I know you hear the word LegalShield. How many of you here have heard of it? A lot of you have, some of you have it, and it does not sound sexy, doesn't sound flashy, doesn't sound amazing. I say this because I come from the product world and I like the fun, I like the flashy. But what you have here is stability. You have a company that has been here for over 50 years. And so I'm an entrepreneur by trade. And when I look at different income opportunities, I look at, is this a company that if I put all my into it, will it still be around to pass on to my kids, to my grandkids? Is it stable? Is it something that's not going to rob me of my time, but yet still provide that flexibility and provide the income flexibility as well? So with LegalShield, you guys, like I said, it's been here for over 50 years. We have 4.5 million and counting. I think we're way over that of lives that we're actually changing with our services through the United States and Canada. But I want to explain to you, tell you a little story about how this got started. So in most cases, anytime you've ever had a big pivot in life or a big light bulb moment, it's always usually come from hardships or like a hard lesson that has been learned. And so our founder actually was in a car accident. And in this car accident, he was not at fault, although he was sued by the person that caused the accident. And it's because that is the world that we live in. And unfortunately, he had, you have insurance for your car, but he didn't have anything to protect him for the legalities of the courts, of everything that was going to happen on the legal side from somebody else trying to sue him for an action that they had created and from the accident that they had caused. So with his vision, he felt like, everybody has insurance for multiple things, insurance for your health, for your car, for crying out loud. We have insurance for our phones and our watches. But how can somebody have legal services at a rate that they're able to afford it? Because the biggest problem is legal access is not available for the many. It's available for those that have the money. And so he wanted to change that. How can people get access at an affordable price, just like you do with like group health insurance through your work? How can we do this to make access for this equal for everyone, not just for those that have the money to do it? And so that's how LegalShield was born, 52 some odd years ago, right? So it's well established. And so what I want to talk to you guys about is with LegalShield, we only offer two different types of services, which makes it clean, it makes it simple, and it makes you really be able to understand the families that you can impact. I've worked in product for a lot of time, and a lot of times you have 5 great products and 50 behind the scene products, right? And so this is what I love about when, I started digging into, should I incorporate LegalShield into my arsenal of the different streams of income? And so the first one that we offer is ID Shield. And I want you guys to think about this in the sense that like ID fraud does not judge. They don't care who you are. They don't care how much money you make. They don't care if you're the president of your company, and they sure don't care if you're a child. Because if you look at these statistics, I'm not going to go through all of them, except for the fact that I want you to see how prevalent this is. Because sometimes people think it will never happen to me, but that's not the case. It's when will it happen to me? So I would love for you guys to drop a 1 in the chat. Have you been affected by fraud? The majority of people have. So the FTC, there was over 1.1 million identity theft reports in 2024 alone. But on top of that, you guys, 2025 was a record high year. And I can't find my chat, so I cannot communicate with you guys. So Ashley, she'll be loving up in the chat with you. But you guys, identity, your identity is out there. 78% of Americans have been victims of it. But this is what I want you to realize. It's not just about you, but it's about our kids, right? They are our next generation that's going to be growing up. 1 in every 50 children has had identity theft every single year. Over 1 million kids in the US are affected annually, and nearly half of the child identity thefts happen to kids that are under the age of 9. And why is this? Like, put in the chat, why do you think kids are the target? Because they have a clean slate, and who's going to go check their credit at 10 years old? They're not getting a car loan. They're not trying to get a line of credit. So they usually don't find out until they're 19, 20, and they're trying to build their credit. And by then, the damage is already done. So I want you guys to think about this, not just to protect yourself, but to protect the entire family and to protect your kids. So with ID Shield, one thing that really sets us apart is because I know a lot of you are like, oh, well, my bank says that they watch my credit. My husband's company, they offer a program, they watch the credit. Anywhere that your social is at or your date of birth, they most likely are going to tell you, hey, we monitor your credit. But the difference here is they are set up to notify you. That's it. That's what their monitoring is. But are they going to help you actually rebuild any damage that has been done? Are they going to give you a team? Because the real burden isn't the fact that you've been breached, but think about all the hours, all of the stress. Like, you're calling multiple people. You have to do police reports and affidavits, calling all the different credit bureaus. You have to replace all of your government IDs. Like, there is so much that it is so straining. But what ID Shield does, which is completely different, is they are going to help you rebuild your status back to the pre-fraud. But not only are we going to be, watching it, notifying you and restoring you, but there's a credit score tracker too. We actually monitor on all 3 different credit bureaus. One other thing that's really great with this is, if there's anybody out there, I would like to see in the chat, who here uses VPN or uses any public Wi-Fi? Most people use public Wi-Fi without a VPN. I can tell you right now, my kids, when we're out and about, my kids are like, where's the Wi-Fi? Where's the public Wi-Fi? Well, the problem is once you get connected to somebody's Wi-Fi, you just invited all of the thieves in. That was a welcome into your database, into your phone, to get access to everything. With ID Shield, they offer VPN as well, where it turns your public hotspot into a secure Wi-Fi where nobody can get access. So if you're at the coffee shop, if you're traveling, you're using the airport Wi-Fi, this is going to help protect all of your information. Monitor all of your social accounts. Who here builds on social media? Whether you build a business or just you use it for friends and family, your info's there. Because when you signed up, you probably put in your date of birth, where you live, it has location trackers. So it's going to monitor all of your social accounts, but you also have 24/7 consultation with a theft specialist for emergencies, which is nice because a lot of times when attorneys clock off at 5, they're done, right? We want to make sure that you have full access when you're in an emergency when it comes to this. And then also, like I was saying, full service restoration by licensed private investigators. This is huge because, like I was saying, in most of the times, people, they're not going to help cover, or they're not going to help restore it. They're going to say, hey, we noticed there was a breach. I want to see in the chat, whoever has gotten a piece of paper that says, oh, sorry, your medical records, like our database was breached. You can go sign up on this free thing. And if we notice anything wrong, we'll let you know. But what happens is if they find something wrong, it's done. Your stuff is taken. Somebody's using it. They're not going to step in and give you some PIs to help restore your credit. And so you guys, breaches and frauds are everywhere. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not paranoia. It's just the reality. You look at these numbers, 12.5 billion, right? And then 1.3 million reports have been filed. You guys, the scale of this problem, in the beginning, we were talking about like income. Everybody's working online. Well, now everything you have is online. And so the scale of the problem has shifted to a daily occurrence. It happens all the time. But one thing that I want you to know is, like, you do not have to do this alone. With LegalShield, you're not handed a checklist like with all of these other companies. You're actually handed a team that says, we will fix this for you. We will take the stress from you. We will do the things that need to be done so that you can rest and have peace knowing we're going to resolve this. So what ID Shield does is we find it, we monitor it, and we restore it. And I want you to think about this. Maybe you don't use social media a lot, but you probably have over 100 online accounts and apps with your personal information. How many apps are on your phone right now? Right? Your phone or those apps are connected to your phone. Your phone has all of your Apple Pay. If you use the Apple iPay and you've loaded your cards, you have to connect your bank account just to have like the Play Store. So think about that. Your information is all over. It's scattered all over the internet. It's duplicated and it's vulnerable across the entire web. So again, identity theft is no longer a question of if, but when. So I want to ask you guys, talking about this, having that VPN that is available. VPN alone, if you have your own VPN, because I know a lot of people that work outside of the home, they do it. It's like $20 just for VPN alone. But the fact that you have a whole team of private investigators, they monitor not just yourself, but they will monitor your spouse and they will monitor all of the kids that are in your home. I would love to see in the chat, how much do you think that this is? How much do you think that this runs? I know the majority of people have said it's probably about $100, probably about $125. But with ID Shield, because the vision is let's create services at a price that every person can afford it, it's only $34.95 a month. You guys, $34.95 a month, like I have a family of 6. I'm paying pennies to make sure that my kids are not going to have a problem when they turn 18 years old. So let's go on to the next screen. I'm going to minimize my screen just real quick because I need my chat up because I cannot see you guys. So let me get my chat. We're going to go because I want to be able to talk with you guys. So I apologize. All right, here we go. We are back. Okay, you can still see my screen. Just a little detour, you guys. But I want you to think about this. So I talked about ID Shield. That's the one service that we provide. All 3 credit bureaus, everybody in the home. The list goes on and on. Like there's I can send you a list right now of 50 different reasons why you should be looking at protecting your ID with ID Shield. But I would like to see in the chat, who here has ever received a traffic ticket? I know I have. Back in my younger days when I was heavy on the gas pedal. But read this. Have you ever signed something because you trusted the person, but then didn't really know what it was that you signed? What about, have you sold a car, bought a car? Have you been threatened with a lawsuit or collections? I'm going to tell you my story on this because, I mean, this one hit home for me. Have you ever needed legal advice, but you don't want to pay a retainer fee or, you know, the beautiful rate of $300 to $400 an hour with an attorney? I know that there's multiple people that have come across all of these things that can happen in life. When we're talking about everyday life stuff, we're not just talking about the traumatic, but anything from trivial to traumatic that can happen in everyday life. Have you had a neighbor dispute over property or noise? Right? There's a lot of neighbors out there that don't like noise. you see it in all of your public groups, you know, people complaining about it. You know, what about you're starting a small business and you want to know if you're protected properly? Do you have the right contracts? There's so many things that we don't think about until we need them. And so this is all about being proactive and not reactive. So let me tell you my story. My story is, you know, I've worked online for 20 something years. There was one company that I worked with. I was with them for 7 years. I decided not to promote them anymore. So I stepped aside and never heard from them for 3 years until I decided to start partnering with another company. The moment they saw that, I got a cease and desist, and they told me I am not allowed to use any of my social media to promote any business for a year after termination. Although my social media was built for 13 years before I went to them. So everybody that I introduced to that company, all my customers, all of my teammates, was on my behalf of my socials, but they told me I couldn't use my socials. So they were trying to restrict my income and they were going to sue me $5,000 per person that I spoke to about any other business that I was going to build in. All I did was I took that cease and desist. You get an app on your phone with that you have, you know, you have an attorney on speed dial. I submitted it through that app. I had a call the next day and I was told, one, they can't do a non-compete with me because my state of Colorado does not participate in that. 2, they're breaking the law by threatening me and intimidating me, and I can actually sue them. So they wrote a letter, they put it on letterhead, they mailed it off to them. Never heard from them again. You guys, most people in this industry will get cease and desist when they leave, like in the network marketing industry. If you leave a company, they will do a cease and desist. They don't care if you're not bringing in big dog money. They just don't want you to take their customers. But the majority of those people do not have access. They don't have somebody to go to find out what are my rights. So what do? They have to go out and get a regular job because they're scared to use their socials, or they're scared to work with another company because of these regulations. So there's a lot of different things. Yeah, Amanda, the letterhead seals the deal. There's a lot of different things that LegalShield can help you with. A lot of times we think about the traumatic. Well, I'm only going to need an attorney if I'm getting a divorce and my husband's fighting me for the kids. Or I'm only going to need an attorney because my neighbor is going to have a civil lawsuit because he doesn't like that my dog walks through his yard. So a lot of times we think about, I don't need it now. And when I do need it, I'll go get me one. But retainer fees, how much do you guys think retainer fees are for an attorney? You're probably, depending on the case, you're probably looking at $2,500 to $5,000 just to retain them. Their hourly rate, anywhere from $300 to $500 to who knows how much. I mean, it's pretty crazy what lawyers cost. But when you can do it with LegalShield at a subscription rate, it's like a group shared rate where it's accessible to the average family. You guys, LegalShield gives you unlimited consultations. You can call them every single day if you're having an issue. I pray you don't have that many legal issues going on in life, but if you do, guess what? You have your attorney there. I also want to know, this one's pretty, this one's strong. This one hits my mama heart. So for those of you that have kids out there, do you have a will? Did you know 80% of the people alone that you know do not have a will? 80%. And most people have kids. They have assets, whether they have 401k, a home, land, savings, cars, like everything that you've accumulated in life is an asset. If you don't have a will that is black and white, not just for your assets, but for your kids, you don't get to decide. Your family doesn't get to decide. Guess who does? The state. And the state does not care. The state will throw things in probate. They will take every piece that they can get out of it. And they don't care who's fighting over your kids. Because I have my grandparents, or I have my parents. Brandon has his parents. And I know if something happened, the good of their heart, they're all going to fight who gets the kids. If you don't have it in black and white, the problem is you don't get to decide a will. So you get a free will with this membership, and every year you can update this will free of cost. So of the 20% of the statistics of people that do have a will, they don't have 90% of those people do not have an updated one. So think about that. Do you have kids? Comment in the chat. Do you guys have kids? 2 kids. I have 4 kids. And so you have to think about that. But not only that, do you have adult kids? This is one thing I'm going to touch on because I have a 20-year-old. Did you know once your child turns 18, I don't care if you're his blood mom and you're his blood dad, you have no rights to him if anything was to ever happen. So think about this emotion. And I hate to talk about this, but I've worked in insurance. So I'm used to talking about what happens when the worst comes. If your son or your daughter gets in a car accident at 18 years old and they're put on life support, and there's a debate on whether or not to keep him on life support, if the state wants to step in and pull him off life support, if you do not have your medical power of attorney, you have no say. So it's very important if you have older kids, and that's covered in this as well. But also, what about flight cancellations or delays? If you have a flight cancellation and they can't get you on another flight, or you're missing your luggage, what about if somebody runs into your car, or your mailbox? I've ran into a couple mailboxes, right? Just small things, like I say, whether it's trivial or it's traumatic. Maybe, your grandmother's going into assisted living. Get help with that. Divorce, bullying, and cyberbullying. You guys, this is massive because we're in such an online world. Or what about like you're in the medical, you're having medical issues, or you're having hospital bills. You guys, LegalShield covers, I have a list of 101 things that it will cover, but I'm sure it's just minimal. HOA issues, rental issues, traffic tickets, disputing inaccuracies, just some stories. You guys, we have a lady that was overcharged 3 months in a row with T-Mobile. It was trivial. It was $10 a month. But guess what? They wouldn't refund her. She sent it over to her attorney, and her attorney sent a letter to the T-Mobile, and she was refunded. There was another gentleman, Ashley will know this one. He took a shirt to the dry cleaners. They ruined it. It was a $48 shirt. Still trivial, but you know what? It was a $48 shirt. They wouldn't refund him the money. The attorney sent a letter. He had $48. So you guys, there's a multitude of different ways that this can help you. Reviewing contracts, you name it. If it can happen in everyday life, it is going to be covered. And I forgot to do the dun da da. How much do you think this is going to cost? But with those, let me go back. With those legal services, how much would you think that this would cost you? You guys, attorneys are not cheap. And to have multiple consultations, this, you guys, $37.95. It is worth every penny. And this covers your entire family as well, right? So this covers your spouse, and this covers your kids that are in the home, 26 and younger, right? So it doesn't mean when they turn 18, they're off the plan. You can still protect them. You guys, I would pay more than double for this ID protection and this family protection. So with that, I want you guys to drop in the chat. Who here has auto insurance, health insurance, home insurance, life insurance? How much do you pay? How much do you pay for that? I know I pay $800 a month just on car insurance. My house insurance is about $1,600 a year. Life insurance isn't cheap as you get older, right? You want to get that when you're young. You guys, yeah, around $2,000 a month, right? $1,950 a month. How come we will insure auto? We will insure health, our home, our life, our cell phones, our Apple Watches, but we won't insure all the legal protection that we need around it? Because I'll tell you right now, you get in an accident, your auto insurance company, they're not just going to be like, I'm going to pay out every penny that we possibly can to make sure that she is taken care of. They'll pay the minimum. Your health insurance, have you ever had a bill that they won't pay, but you know should have been covered on your health? What happens is you have these insurances to help cover the financial side, but who's going to stand up for you when you need somebody to back you on the legal side because they're not sticking to their word? This is a no-brainer to have, to hold people true to their word, because even though it's a company, sometimes they're not going to be there for the best, for the better good of you. They're there for the profits of the company. So now we're going to talk about, this is the fun part. We're going to talk about show me the money, because a lot of you guys are here joining because you're trying to find another way to create an extra stream of income that's not going to compete with your time, your kids, your family, your life. It's not going to compete with, your job. So I want to show you the way that you can create this working online. We're going to look at this real quick. Let me move my chat. Whoa. Here we go. Okay. I've been in the product world where every month, we're getting ready for this to happen because I'm still in the product world. Come March 1st, all of my work that I have done this whole month, all of the volume, all of the sales that I've brought in, it's wiped out. I'm right back at zero on March 1st. Here, it's different. You get to continue to accumulate your volume month after month, and it does not reset to where your work is not pushed to where you have 30 days to get where you need to be and then reset and start all over. So I want to talk to you about like this money situation. So as you come in as an associate, it's a lot like being in life insurance, right? I've done that for multiple years. We advance you their whole year's worth of their membership up front. Instead of paying you little pennies every month, they're going to pay you up front. So if you come in as an associate right off of the bat, now we talked about the ID plan and the legal plan that were both the family plans. So to keep this easy, like commissions are proportionate, but let's say you have one person come in and they do that package, which is our most popular package. You're going to make $80 off of a $73 subscription, just as an associate. Let's say that you go through this and you really want to build an income and you rank advance. And I'm not going to go through the details on that. We do have a comprehensive comp plan that we can send you. But let's say that you rank advance all the way up to director. Instead of getting paid $80 for that one person you helped, you're now getting paid $246. You just gave yourself a massive pay raise. And here's what's beautiful. You heard me talk about, like, in the product world, your ranks and your volume flushes every single month. It's like gut wrenching, waking up on the first and you're defeated. Like, let's build again. You will never lose this. Up to this rank of director, you will never lose this. So when you hit these different ranks, you see this different personal income. You don't have to re-earn that every month. That is there for the life that you were an associate with LegalShield. But I want to talk to you about, okay, so this is great. This right here, this personal income, this is what we're talking about, linear income, right? You work to get paid. But let's talk about the leveraged income. Leveraged income is when you get paid and rewarded for people on your team working. That's these overrides. So to keep this really simple, I want you to picture this. You have 50 people on your team, right? You're a director at the very top. Associate number 51 brought in and helped somebody with our plan. Well, associate number 51 got paid $80. So how are you going to be rewarded for ensuring this person is succeeding and is able to help other people? Look over here to this right-hand side on these overrides. If associate number 1 through 50 has never rank advanced, so you don't have any senior managers, or senior associates, but person number 51 help somebody, you're going to not only get a $20 override, you're going to get a $32 override and a $46 override and a $68 override. So you do the math on that, and that is what your leveraged income is going to be for this one associate helping one family. That is why I like leveraged income. But also what's great on this is our residual income. So I talked about that we advance you a whole year's worth. Come month 13, when your client is loving the services and they make that next premium, you're advanced a whole nother year based off of their membership. So you get the residual income there as well. So you guys, right here, you work yourself up to director, you never have to rebuild that volume. And then the compensation plan will go into more detail. Senior director, executive director. I mean, who here, where's my chat? Who here wants to be at that ED level? Right? Ashley's at that ED level, like $416 for helping one person, right? And you get all of these overrides to help your team. So here's what's different. If you do come from like the network marketing and the product world, there's breakaways. I don't know if you understand that language, but there's breakaways to where you only have so many levels that you make money on, like 8 levels deep. So anybody after that, you're like, I can't put my time and energy there because I can't work for free. I want everybody to win, but it's just not possible. It's different here, you guys. They want everybody to win. So it doesn't matter how far they are. They're going to help you win and help them win. So here, you guys, you can make linear income, you can make residual income, and you can make I like to call it, your leveraged income and then your residual income. When you start to create leveraged and residual, that's when it turns passive. And I'm not saying that linear income is wrong, but linear income should not be the plan. It should be part of your plan. And you should really be focusing on leveraged and on your residual income. So again, I want you guys to comment, what type of income do you want? Where would you like to build your legacy? Do you want it to be in linear the rest of your life? So hard. Ashley, can you not hear me? Good. Okay. Like, can you guys hear? I'm like, am I talking to myself? So you guys, this is just one part. We can send the comprehensive plan because there's multitude of different bonuses. You got fast start bonuses, which if you're new here, fast start bonuses in your first month, like we can help you make a comma check. Like very easily. When I saw what it took compared to what I'm building, I was like, yeah, you're missing a zero. I think there needs to be a zero on that volume because this isn't right. But you guys, I want to show you how we're changing the game with our team. So not only do you have a stable company that is debt-free, that has been around for multiple years, you guys, our team is changing the game. Like they are really bringing this to social media. And that's probably why is like, did LegalShield like reinvent themselves? How come I'm all of a sudden hearing about it? Because you know what? all of these big leaders that have been, very influential on social media, they're seeing what the company has done. They've dumped a ton of money back into the compensation plan. So Melissa Collins is one of our mentors. So when you partner with us, you're going to get direct access from her. Multiple seven figures that she has been able to build. She came over and she made over $300,000 since the end of October. Do the math, you guys. 3 months. Who does not want to make 6 figures a month? And then Brittany Black, she's also another one of our amazing partners and mentors. She's a real estate agent and she made $100,000 in her first 80 days. Those numbers are wild, but it shows you what is possible. But also something else, Melissa Collins, she brings so much to the team. We're going to talk about systems, because you can have great product, you can have a great company, but if the system's not duplicatable, you're not going to get anywhere. We're going to talk about that, but I want to show you what people are saying about this business. And I'm trying to be very cautious of your guys' time. A lot of people feel like you read here, let me move my chat. Says, I really don't feel worthy of any of this kind of shout out because I put in a little bit of effort. So she's talking about the way we place people, the way we build volume at the bottom. So I like the saying is, you don't burn a house from the roof down, right? You burn a house from the bottom up. You want everybody to feel that fire. That's what we do here. She has people helping her build her business here. Somebody else says it actually feels like you're stealing money, right? Because of the overrides, because of the help and the way that we build this business here, you guys. So why our team? This is what I wanted to talk about. I'm all about systems, you guys. Money is everything, but money is not everything, but it rates right up there with oxygen. And I'll tell you right now, I will not chase a company for money that steals my freedom, because the ultimate goal here for you should be time freedom, time flexibility, right? To live the life you want, because we are all trapped in this lie of go to school, get a degree, work that degree, pay off your school loans, work till you're 67. I think they're changing it now to 72 years old, and then go live your life. How can you live your life at that point? We want you to live your life now. So we have systems in place. This is a number one for me. I have to have a system that I know that Susie Q, that works a full-time job, that wants to bring in an extra income, she can do this during her free time. I want to know that she can plug and play and not have to learn everything there is about LegalShield and what the plans are. You guys, we use the tools. We are not a tool ourselves. So Melissa Collins, she builds tech for a living. She has built us duplicatable systems. You see these screenshots here. This is a coach in your pocket. You have a question, Amanda, how do I schedule my fast start? Well, you're not going to your upline. You're going to go in there and say, how do I schedule my fast start? It's going to tell you where to go, give you the link, tell you exactly how to do it. And it's going to talk to you like you're a human. Hey, when you're done scheduling your fast start, Amanda, let me know. This is huge, because we don't want you tied down doing admin, trying to help your team be successful. We want you out there doing income producing activities. She also teaches you, if you're not used to social, she teaches you what to do on social. This whole thing right here, we're going to talk about that. There's free travel. There's free gift cards in there. This is what we call our daily workflow. You go in here and do what you're supposed to do already, engage with your network. You see those options, you check it off, you say it's completed. At the end of every month, you get to spin a wheel, and she's giving away gift cards, which she just partnered with a travel company. They're giving away 5 free trips every month. And I'm not talking about like a staycation to your Hampton Inn in your local town. We're talking about 5 trips a month, you guys. But then also all of your trainings are in here, because with a company that is 52 years old, with the resources that we provide to families, there's a lot of info. Melissa knows, I know, Ashley knows that too much information can cause people to stop. So this app that she has created for us, it is the most pertinent information that you need to grow your business and scale your business. So we have all the tools to help you succeed 24/7. AI onboarding tools, duplication. Number one, you have to have duplication or else you're back into linear, right? If somebody else can't come in and do this, then you're just spending all your time trying to teach them how to do it. You guys, this is built for the beginners to win. It's not just for the seasoned. It's not just for those that have the experience. We have multiple people that have never done this before that come in, like that one comment, I feel like I'm not worthy of this. Like, I feel like I'm stealing money because is new into this. You guys, again, we've made a very simple turnkey process, allowing for maximum ease and duplication. I've been doing this for 5 weeks. This is my first call. So you know what I've been doing? I just get people on these calls. I haven't had to do them all myself. I'm using the system. So you guys, we have an amazing team that will get you there. And I always tell people, all you have to get really good at is having conversations with people and inviting. Two things: having conversations and inviting, because the rest of the team's going to present to them for you. When they see this, the majority, like, I don't have the exact statistics, but I tell you right now, the majority of people that get on one of these calls, they end up enrolling. And what do they do? What happens when they enroll? We teach them how to scale. Our system right here is going to teach them how to sell. So with that, you guys, I'm going to leave it at this, and I'm going to let you guys have your evening back. You're not pushing products. You're not pushing volume. You're not trying to convince them why they need the product. Look, I love product. I've done it for 20 years, but this is a service that is in demand that families need, right? There's daily pay. If you're from the insurance world, oh, you're in for a real treat, because in the insurance world, it's multiple hours, right? To meet the client, take the application, and then wait for underwriting. And underwriting can take, I've had some cases, 6 months. It doesn't happen here, you guys. You help a customer, you're paid the next day. You can earn trips. We talked about that. Your ranks are permanent. Screenshot this. I'm not going to go through all of it because I want to save you guys your time. But I do want to talk about, there are add-on supplements. If you have an at-home business, maybe you know a small business owner, right? There's different supplements. What if you're a gun owner like us? Gun owner supplement. You want to have that because sadly, gun owners don't have many rights anymore. So there's a lot of different supplements that can be added on based off of somebody's specific situation. There's also, this one's really cool. My husband and I just got certified business to business model. All right. Walmart offers employee benefits, right? Like life insurance, and they even offer pet insurance and all this other stuff. They also offer LegalShield. So you can become certified and set meetings, meet with businesses, offer this as a plan. It's no cost to the company. And guess what? You just had a meeting with a company that has 50 employees, and now they're going to offer it to all of their employees at a very cheap, affordable rate. You guys, the options here are endless. You can do it in a multitude of different ways, right? So you get to pick your path, and I'm going to let you guys have your evening back. You saw the different things about our plans. So you can become a member. You can explore the options to protect yourself, protect your family, protect your business, protect your kids. Or if you're looking for that flexibility, that extra time, that extra income, without having to pick up a second job and without giving up a ton of your time that you are home, you can be an associate. It's very easy, you guys. You get partnered with us, and you refer and you earn, you get paid the next day. So it's really as simple as getting started. We have a one-time $99 enrollment fee, and then your personal plan, your family plan, and your ID plan. So out the door, you guys, on your first enrollment, it's like $173. I'm sorry, but we've looked at brick and mortars, you're talking like 500,000. You got to wait 5 years for profit. You can join today and be in profit tomorrow. You help 2 customers, you could be right back into profit, right? Isn't that what we talked about? One customer on this same plan is roughly about $80 a person. So for less than $200, you guys will get access to your LegalShield Advantage app. You'll get access to the Viral U app. The Viral U app is $14.99 a month. Your Advantage Plus plan. So we're going to talk about overhead costs real quick for my business owners. So, overhead costs are normally about $5,000 minimum, because you have employee wages, you have rental, you have, all your supplies. Here, you guys, it's $40 a month is your business costs. And then you have your legal plans, which are about $73. So you're talking, $120 to round it up is your overhead for your business that you get to build with independence, flexibility. You have more income options. Again, you help 2 customers a month or 2 associates partner with us a month. Your business fees, your legal and identity shield are paid, and you're still in profit. So you guys, it's a no-brainer on what this can do. If you guys have any questions, I want you to get back in touch with who invited you here, because the first step is to start. Second step, we're going to refer them to our call. Right? We got a call coming up next week already. And all you're going to do is send them a link to get on this call. You don't need to know anything else except we have calls every single day that we are here to help you guys succeed. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. If you guys have questions, feel free to stay on. I'd be more than happy to answer any of those questions. And I've lost all of my controls.
All right, guys, give me a one in the chat for Dixie. I love that so much. I'm